herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe zum SI-Talk. Bin nach wie vor in Vancouver und bei mir ist heute wieder TerraX. Ich habe einen Konflikt of Interest. Ich bin Aktionär des Unternehmens und deswegen mit Vorsicht genießen. Bei TerraX hat es relativ viel getan in den letzten 6-9 Monaten. Wir haben einen totalen Managementwechsel gesehen, aber nicht deswegen, weil das alte Management so schlecht war, sondern weil man einfach frisches Blut haben wollte, um die Company vorwärts zu bringen. Und ja, ich habe jetzt den neuen Präsidenten und CEO da und er soll sich einfach jetzt auch einmal kurz vorstellen, was er so macht und was sein Fokus ist. Thank you to have time for me, and I say this in my German introduction. We saw now, I think the last interview was 9 or 12 months ago, and we see now a major change in the company, but not for the reason that the previous management doing so bad job. It is more that they need a new blood. They must focus on them. That's a new step, milestone forward.
Yes.
To the company and bring it quicker to more results. Is this a good explanation what your focus is on it? But first, please, can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing in the past and what is your vision of the company and what we can expect in the next, and I would say a little bit shorter, 3 to 6 months from the company? I know it's a lot of questions in one, but
let's see how I do.
But maybe we can split it up a little bit.
Sure.
And so on.
So, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to meet you and to speak to your viewers. I look forward to more of these opportunities. And to begin to answer your questions, I came from an equity capital markets background. I was working with 2 independent brokerage firms in Toronto for nearly 15 years. And my expertise came from a position in trading and sales and investment banking. Through my experience, I started to move towards relationships with our corporate clients, and eventually I was steered towards an opportunity here at TerraX. And to your point, for those who haven't heard an update on TerraX in 9 or 12 months, I agree with your point. My addition to the team is not an indication of anything that was wrong with the company. In fact, it's a fact that I've joined the company because it's a wonderful asset. I view this as a huge opportunity for me and my family. I've changed careers and we've moved cities from Toronto to Vancouver. So I think that speaks to my level of interest and commitment to the project, and to also the work that Joe Campbell and his team, along with Stu Rogers and Al Sexton and everybody else have done thus far. As we know, market conditions have been challenging, and a gold exploration project is all about being funded and being focused with a vision and a strategy. So again, to your point, my vision for the company is to take it to the next level. We want to add to our investor base. We want to hold the hands of our long-term investors to assure them that we're on track to be more focused. We're going to make sure that we're able to raise capital and take that capital and deploy it into the field. So our plan is, my vision for now is to really hone in on a drill plan that will start in January. And we're going to focus on our North Belt core area, and we're going to hone in on what we already know are highly prospective targets, and we want to give our investor base and our prospective investors a consistent flow of news from that drill campaign.
One of the reasons why I bought stocks, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and I bought several times, is that you really have unbelievable great numbers from the drill results. Unbelievable great means up to 50 gram and so on or more, and this is really interesting. Then we know exactly in the branch, grade is king.
Absolutely.
And we know also, or also my viewer know, at the moment we are in a terrible market condition. It's not so bad than 2015, end of 2015, but I think it's close.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But then
feels like it's close.
And sometimes I'm really surprised. The only difference what I have between 2015 and 2018 now is that more companies struggle with financing or something. 2015 was really in the end of the year. It was you see that the blood in the street, and you see that a lot of companies running out of the money, and if they're coming up with a few hundred thousands, that they must leave.
Yeah.
And maybe we are not end of the year, but maybe we'll see this year the same. But that the market itself is in really bad shape.
I would say there's been, and just coming back from Beaver Creek, Precious Metals Summit, having spoken to other companies, to investors, to brokers, there's been a structural shift in fund flows. And I think that, in some ways, 2015, as you mentioned, was one thing. 2018 feels like it's different, and I always try to focus on the positives. I see tough market conditions as an opportunity, always. I'd rather be entering this opportunity now than at the heights of some of the other tops of other cycles. So we're seeing that the opportunities to find funding for our project are they're different. Certainly it's not easy for anyone, and I'm not saying it is, but I am saying that there are opportunities. The flows of funds are just coming from different places. So there are strategic interests in high quality assets, particularly in good political jurisdictions, in well endowed districts, which I would say we check both of those boxes at TerraX. And so there is access to capital. It's just I think it's for the market at large. It still feels it's challenging. Now our goal is to find the right partners to go forward with. It's not such a broad access to capital as it once was. It's much more targeted.
Before I come up with another market question, and you are from the markets, and I like to talk through the markets too, to summarize a little bit. So you come in, your focus is clear, bring fresh blood in, the old management team is still here, do the great job. We know exactly, it is a great area, it's for me also area play. It is great results we have in the past, unbelievable great results, and great is king for me. Also on certain levels and really broad area. Maybe one of the problems what I see is maybe the project is too large, that you need so much money to prove it up everything. So
right.
That's maybe it's one issue.
See me smiling because
but it's a good.
I think that's an accurate assessment. And it's kudos to the team for having brought the project along as far as they have, with the limited funds and resources that they have, because this is truly a district play. It's not one property, the size of a few football fields that they're trying to delineate. This is like, you're going, the analogy I use is take a map of Canada and I say it's all yours, find the gold.
Yep.
So the opportunity here and now is exactly on line with what you're describing as what's been the challenge. And now, the focus, the vision, the fresh blood, so to speak, brings focus to the area where we've done all the work. We've done the hard work to find our high-grade targets. So now let's go out and drill that north belt, and let's focus on high-grade targets so we can give the market news it wants to hear. Let's do something that continues to grow our known resource, and then at the same time spend some amount of time exploring our district to find another big one. Mm-hmm. So I think, let's just throw basic numbers at it, call it an 80-20 split. We're going to explore 80% of the time with 80% of our resources on an area that we can find high-grade resources.
And I think this is also what the market need. The market need numbers. When you make this wildcat drilling, it's nice when you find something, but it's tougher, much tougher. So, and the chance to find nothing is much higher than when you spend 80% of the money in the grade or in the area where you know that there is something and you find it, and the chance to coming up with really good numbers is really high. And it's very important to bring forward the project that they can show other companies how big.
That's right. And that's what people want to see. That's exactly as you said. They want to see, they want to hear that you're going to spend 80% of your time in an area where there are, you live on a part of the probability curve that's stronger, that's higher, so that that chance of finding nothing is lower. Yeah. That chance of finding nothing is in a huge district, something that everybody's always concerned with. I think from the other angle, in the gold exploration business, you have to be willing to take a shot and go and drill and find, people, the market needs excitement. The market needs big discoveries. Absolutely. Everybody, the passion behind all of this, the reason why I'm sitting here and probably why you're sitting here is because we've been pulled into that, addiction to finding something. And we're not going to abandon that. What we're going to do is we're going to tell people that, let's say 20% of our resources and our money is going to continue down that road on a huge district. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we're going to add value to shareholders by, drilling an area where we've already done all that work. We know we have a roadmap to high grade discoveries, on what we believe is the extension of the giant structure. Mm-hmm. And that's, the Geological Survey also believes that our North Belt is a continuation of that trend. So that's the plan. That's what we want to go out with. We want to be able to give people results on a regular basis.
How much money you will spend next year for drilling?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it always depends on how much money we decide to raise strategically, given the market conditions. Obviously, our market cap right now is such that we don't want to dilute our shareholders. Mm-hmm. But if I was to say that we would spend $8 million in a year, that would be probably on the higher end. Mm-hmm. And I think that a winter program where we would spend in the range of 3 to 4 is probably reasonable. Mm-hmm. So again, how much we spend is highly dependent on market conditions. Mm-hmm. We certainly want to fund ourselves to go out and allow our team, to drill north of 10,000 to up to 15,000 meters over the course of the winter. That's kind of the limit of how much work we can do in a season. As you know, our seasons are, January to March and then June through to October. Mm-hmm. This past summer, we took the opportunity to go back up to 30,000 feet and complete, all of our data sets. Mm-hmm. And we did a lot of ground sampling to extend, strike and continue to build our pipeline of targets. Mm-hmm. So, with that sort of information, we're prepared now with a plan for starting in January. But the amount that we spend, will depend on how much we can raise and market conditions, because again, we have to do what's right for the company, for our shareholders, and also to maximize value for the asset.
Understandable. And I think that is a good update. Then we know exactly then in January, March, when the next time over here, then maybe we saw the first results also, especially in March, maybe first results from the drilling, the new drilling campaign from January. But I have one market question.
Sure.
We saw this month the takeover from Barrick Randgold,
Sure.
and we saw also some activity from smaller companies. Remember me, Royal Nickel. They have the mine in Australia. They find big nuggets.
Yes.
They're really great stuff.
That's what the market needs. Market
and this
needs to get excited.
Yeah, that is my question. Is this maybe not also a sign that we're maybe on the bottom, or that the intention of the people coming back to the market?
I think that that's the question everybody's asking each other and themselves, and I'm happy to talk about it. My view is that we are nearing the bottom of the cycle. I've never liked, certainly even as a trader, I never liked to make predictions on timing of cycles, but all the signs are there that we're nearing, we're grinding along a bottom. I think there's a shift, in people's attention, and I think that when you have positive events like Royal Nickel just had, or you see that Barrick is buying Randgold, what it does is it makes everybody excited again. Mm-hmm. And we could argue about where the gold price is going, all day, but even at said gold price, when there's a gold find like Royal Nickel just had, it makes everybody think, oh, who's going to be the next person? Who's going to be the next geologist to find that? What's the next company that's going to find that gold? And I want to be involved. I missed that one, and I almost owned Royal Nickel. You hear people say, but I didn't, or I sold it too early, and so now people are excited again. They're starting to think, I need to have my favorite horse, and so that's we're trying to attract investors who are coming back. Mm-hmm. TerraX is going to look like a great opportunity, as it does to me, as David Suda, to people who are seeing this success outside of their own portfolio. And so that's how we're going to market ourselves. If you want a good chance to have that feeling, then come on board with us.
The Royal Nickel story was also in one of our newspapers, a big story. They never talk about economics or stuff like this, but there was a big story there. This big boulder, and I'm really happy. I'm still a little bit shareholder of Royal Nickel, and I was a shareholder before. So, but I was 1.5 years also a shareholder of Royal Nickel, and I was on the decline also on the way. So it's only. I get a little bit money back, so I'm lucky with that. Thank you for the update. I think it was a great one. Give a new idea, my people, what the new CEO and president from TerraX want to the company. Good luck with the January drilling. Then I think with good numbers, you can drive the share price higher, and the people want a positive momentum in the share price.
Absolutely.
That's what the people look for.
And that's why our team is here. We're shareholders, and if we're finding success in the field, then I think everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah, and I'm shareholder too. That's the reason why I'm also here.
Yeah.
So, das war ein Update von TerraX, ein neuer Präsident und CEO, und seine Vision ist relativ klar. Er will die Company zu einem neuen Level bringen. Sie haben sehr viel Arbeit gemacht, auch über den Sommer, um ihre Targets genauer zu definieren, und das war auch ein Teil dieser Frage. Das Problem bei diesem Projekt, was ich sehe, ist das einzige, es ist irrsinnig groß, und das ist ein District. Und sie haben super Ergebnisse gehabt in der Vergangenheit, und jetzt gilt es einfach, und das will er jetzt machen auch in diesem Programm, 80% des Geldes soll in die bestehenden Gebiete, wo man weiß, da ist hochgradig, da ist alles da, dass man dort das Geld reinfließt, um diese Projekte vorwärts zu bringen, und 20% des Geldes will er dazu verwenden, um neue Gebiete in diesem Projekt zu finden. Alles hängt natürlich auch davon ab, wie die Finanzierung ist, denn er möchte natürlich, braucht die Company natürlich Geld, dass sie was machen kann, das ist der Punkt 1. Punkt 2 ist aber, Dilution ist natürlich schlecht. Er ist ja auch Aktionär, so wie ich und Sie wahrscheinlich auch. Dilution ist ganz schlecht. Wir müssen schauen, dass natürlich die relativ gering ist, allerdings braucht die Company natürlich auch Geld. Und das dritte ist natürlich, was gibt der Markt her? Die letzte Frage war von mir auch, was braucht der Markt, um eigentlich zu drehen? Wir kennen die Stories von Barrick, Randgold, wir kennen die Stories Royal Nickel. Sind das möglicherweise Auslöser für einen New Bull Market? Und natürlich kann er kommt ja vom Markt auch natürlich genauso wenig sagen wie wir, wann ist wirklich der Marktboden da? Allerdings, es gibt sehr viele Anzeichen, die ähnlich sind wie damals, 2015. Ein bisschen andere Vorzeichen, aber es schaut so aus, als nähern wir uns einfach dem Boden. Und welche Companies werden halt dann die nächsten Royal Nickel sein, die dann dementsprechend den Markt begeistern. Und was mich halt einfach bei diesem Projekt irrsinnig begeistert haben, waren wirklich diese hochgradigen Zonen, die sie haben. Und hochgradige Zonen bringt einfach die Aufmerksamkeit des Marktes zu sich. War jetzt ein Update von, was haben wir heute, September, noch immer September 2018, Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba. David, thank you.
Thank you very much.